45 minutes left in the trading session. Welcome back to the close. The Fed leaves rates unchanged, surprising no one, but the market gets positive on that. S&P back to 0.14, the Dow about the same to the downside. NASDAQ leading here 0.5% to the upside. Cryptos at the bottom there having a nice day as well. Lots to talk about, guys. Lots of little individual names to get to this afternoon. Let's get into the last hour.
You better believe it. And one of those names to talk about is Flora Growth Corp FLGC. Filth, Flora, Filth. And I'm calling it Filth because actually I don't mind that we actually got oh my goodness, got a skin of our teeth here when we shorted this consolidation. It broke 9 even, and then it did not a fake halt, like it was about to halt to the upside. I wanted to take it into the halt trade. We always say if it's in that 15-second period, it can only go down. If it goes halt, likely you're going to get a nice little move to the upside there, but it resisted the halt and then came right back in. You got to have a stop in that situation. I've talked about it before, so I did get out. It's still on the way up, though. But the second halt of the day was resisted on FLGC. I'll be watching that. Trading a little bit of SPRT, which had a bit of a breakout as well. And BlackBerry heading towards highs, Sean, that 11 level, a big one from this morning.
Yeah, I was just actually looking at BlackBerry right now. It says no positions, but I do have 3 positions on. As soon as we get into a trade, it will show, I will load them all up. So hopefully that happens pretty soon. But I'm not going to take a trade just to show you guys, but we could talk about what they are. I'm still long right now. AMC off this break, or this is AMD, but not long this. Wow, I didn't even realize this. AMD is up 8%, guys. You want to talk about the number one stock? I mean, I don't have it on board, but the number one stock on my watch list today, AMD, sorry, and we were talking about that name through $93. Okay, so there's the bid there through 94. We should have had a long in there, and we're approaching all-time highs again for AMD. We were long and dumped it off right there. Now our positions are showing up because I did take a BlackBerry trade right now, as Neil was just talking about it. I like the short. Sorry, I like the long through 11, but we'll just see if we can't short it a little bit here into the 90s and into the 80s to the downside. I don't really want to play short on BlackBerry, so we may just get out of this right now, but I did take a little small short here at 80. That was more just to get into a position to show you guys everything else. So we'll probably get out of this right now. We still have NEO to the long side as well. We picked this up very, very early. I was just waiting for it to break the high of the day. Like we did a lot of filming this afternoon, and you guys know that we put out videos. So we weren't in here trading, but the point is on NEO anyways, I wasn't going to get out until we broke the high of the day. So we're really, really close to that anyways. So that's going to be a play, because look at this big run that happened just as we went off the air at 11 o'clock. And then check back one more time. Here's AMC. We took this just as we left you at 11 o'clock. Again, breaking that 37.25. These bottoms here in the pre-market, break that upside. Now we go run here with AMC. So we've got 3 big winners on. Oh yeah, we still have Apple on as well here as I sort my thing alphabetically. Apple's still on board here. I'm thinking we take out the highs. The big misstep for me today, and it's not a misstep, is just that, you know, I mean, look, can you believe this? 367, I have a bid here long on Facebook. The low of the day, 366.93. So we had this, we dumped it all, and now Facebook doing exactly what we thought it would do, but it's still only back to that level that we went long initially for here on the day. I think Facebook earnings are going to be huge, so watch out for that as Google rocking and rolling, AMD rocking and rolling. This is a big day for the portfolio, guys. What's up,
before we go to Brendan quickly here, look, I want to talk about Spirit just because we got that position. It was a breakout trade, and we're in the chat, and everyone's sort of looking at some names. A consolidation break on volume, 875. I've gotten out as much as 925 here for 50-cent winner. Also, ALZN. That did hold to the upside. I was able to catch the bid to get 674 long, and then we'll check that one out when it reopens. Brendo?
I'm just going to mention that one. Alzamend Neuro, ALZN. Yeah, it just halts to the upside. They got an FDA letter, guys, saying they can proceed with a phase 1 study on an Alzheimer's drug. So just a letter saying, go ahead, do the study from the FDA, guys.
All right, I am a little bit, I mean, again, to say we're nervous about something is not going to be correct, but Ford earnings on deck. Wow, I didn't even, again, like, all this happened today when we were just looking at other names. But thank you to someone in the chat there. Michael Davis, what's up, Michael Davis? There it is. For ripping, I might change that word ripping to just moving up. But thank you, Michael Davis, for bringing this to our attention. And yeah, of course, it is on earnings, right? And so you got to watch out for them. I'm a little bit nervous about Ford earnings, and I'll tell you why. We're below the 50-period moving average. That's not a big deal for me on this name because I know I like it, and we already know the case for Ford. The problem with me here is that the semiconductors, so there still is a shortage out there, and I just worry that they don't guide properly or they guide lower because they haven't gotten their hands on enough of them to produce more vehicles. So I love Ford. I think it's the best play in the space. EV, traditional auto, whatever. I mean, I like Tesla, but I think Ford is a play. It's just I'm very, very worried about what they're going to talk about tomorrow. So I'd rather pick it up tomorrow on strength than trade it now and possibly try to avoid some of that weakness. So that's my thought there on Ford for today. I wouldn't worry about anything running into earnings here, but if we take out 14, then I have to be on top of that as well. NIO right now, just now taking out, basically taking out the high of the day here on NIO. We're still long this bad boy.
Absolutely, and I know you talked about BlackBerry. I am looking, and I almost got filled to the short side. Look, we talked about that 11 break, and if it came, we're going to have it in the afternoon, but I'll go both directions on this trade. If we can fade into 11 even, catch a couple of levels here, like I'll get this 88 where I've been sitting off of this lower high, and then catch some in the mid-90s to round the full position off, and then 11 reversal if it gets there. It's a little bit of a volume spike that just terminated really, really just shy of the order there. So trying to break that higher low, it can roll over, be a nice little VWAP retracement trade potentially. Got about, I want to say, like still a couple of minutes or maybe 1 minute until we reopen on that ALZ. I remember we're going to cover over half those shares in the open of that print regardless. And then Spirit, I know it's support, but it's SPRT, so I'm going to say Spirit. It's coming right back. Now, the first time after that 875 break, when it hit that 50-cent winner, it came right back and held exactly that entry point. So second time through, is it going to be able to do that? I kind of feel like if it breaks, we're headed down to being able to pick this one up at about 840. It had lots of support at $8, and I don't just know that because I was all over the short at 840 before, and then had great winners. Looked like it was going to roll over, got stopped out. That's why I'm all over this breakout, because I lost a little bit back on the short trade on SPRT at that particular price. So I'm gone bull side on this one. I'll buy the dip if it comes back into that 840 range, but break even for the last of these shares, the last quarter that we got on.
All right, what airline stocks do I like for a 6 to 12 month hold? I mean, I prefer Boeing over the actual airlines, but Mark Roberts is on our show all the time, likes LUV, to answer Bradley Taylor there on the chat. So he likes LUV Southwest. So watch out for that one. Again, domestic flight probably better than international. So that would be the logic behind that one. With borders being an issue, that's going to be that. So LUV would be where I like it. But I've talked about this over and over again. We've talked about this with Intel. We talked about this with NVIDIA. And honestly, guys, I mean, I was trying to tell everybody, even including Mark Roberts, the aforementioned Mark Roberts, about AMD and what they were capable of doing. And then today, obviously, the earnings are coming out here, and it is shining through like the star that we all thought that it was. So AMD right back to 99.98. I did trim some of my position. I'm long at 65, so I got out some today at 97.20 or so in the long-term portfolio, and that was 15% of the position. So just trying to be a little bit responsible, but that's a monster win for us. As AMD, you can see what's happening right now with AMD, guys. Like, we're taking out these highs. Last high, 99.73 or so. So watch out for that 100 break coming. And then once the 100 break comes, you're going to get crazy upgrades. And this thing sees 125 before you can even blink. What's up, Brendo?
Just looking at some of these EV charging names. ChargePoint to start. Having a nice day, 7%. We had the infrastructure bill get to the next stage of passage in the House today. So CHPT moving, Blink moving on that as well. Decent volume here, guys. CHPT at day highs.
And we'll go gates of hell for a halt long. This is why you get out 2/3 of it on the reopen. And when a halt up on a parabolic move like this opens exactly flat, it's probably actually going to go down and not up, which is exactly what happened. I had a bunch out there. I immediately got out of the last third right here, like 650, to take the 25-cent hit. I was actually able to get a short at a better price because I'm instantly doing that rollover short off the new high of the day, and then we're going to hang on to this. Now the halt, this reopen was faded all the way down to 550, and you had that 540 halt price. I'm not sure we break all the way down there, but I'd look at like a 575, 580 for the rest of his ALZN. I love these halt trades. I mean, there's nice, awesome setups that you can take when these things reopen. I don't know that I've seen in a more obvious, this is now a short. then opening up exactly flat after the stock went from 480 to 680 ALZN. Spirit managed to hold up. We're back above 905, so back in the money, 30 pennies on that one. Kind of looked like we're going to get break even on the last quarter. Looks like it's going to work out. No BlackBerry position yet. I'm on the offer at 88 to start that short in front of that big 11 even.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I like that building of the short. There's no doubt about that. We are going to wait for that 11 to break just to see if there is anything to the downside there. Through BlackBerry at 11. So we'll wait to see if that comes through or not, but that's going to be BlackBerry. Good call there by Neil. We were looking at DD earlier this morning and we missed that 860 punch. We did have it. Okay, it hasn't done much. Just want to check back on it. It hasn't done much since this morning, so nothing really to talk about here on DD, but you know, we did talk about 860 earlier in the morning. Here's the break right here, 860, comes down to 860, and again, it wasn't sitting here, but that's a great long. So if that comes again, then we'll be waiting around for it. So 860 on DD's looking pretty good. Check back. We did buy some Alibaba yesterday, and I was saying 183. I'll have to double check the price, but that looks like a good buy as well. I think these Chinese names are a little bit overdone, so let's just wait to see. I mean, I hope I'm right because I'm invested in it, but Alibaba today just making new highs right now. And then, you know, I said this yesterday, and we talked about it, and that was the most investable stock I thought was going to be NIO as far as Chinese is concerned, because we do know that the government actually backs this company. So, you know, that should be a good thing there, and a lot of employment, and it's sort of their gateway. Although they do have XPeng, we know that, so it's XPEV and Li Auto. You know, NIO was the first. I believe that it's strong, and help me out, I guess, if anybody knows anything else about the Chinese car situation. But I really think that NIO is the strongest over there, and I believe that it'll be supported by the government throughout. So I'm not super worried about it. But, you know, for NIO, for the dip down, I think we got to keep buying them anytime we get dips down. It went to 32, 33 not too long ago, and it also went to 55. So there's some volatility here, but I like NIO for the long run. That would be the car company for me if I was going to invest in one of the Chinese car companies.
Well, you can invest in the one that Buffett backs, that's for sure. I think I'm going to get this one right because I have an issue with my stream deck. Is this correct? Yeah, there you go. Not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, although I was bidding in that 585 range. There was a buyer at 8 on ALZN at 6 even that held it up a couple of times. Check that. This is a 3-minute chart, by the way. In the afternoons, I kind of flip from 1 to a 3 for executions and to show you guys. So if in a 1-minute chart, you would have actually seen a tiny bit of consolidation there around that $6 range. It's hard to see on the 3-minute, but on level 2 it was obvious. So we get the last out in front of that 6. If it retests this little top at 675, I mean, like if it has enough juice to get up there, it might actually make a breakout. It does feel like we could rinse and repeat that trade, but I'm kind of looking at that SPRT, but that's not the only name out there. I want to go back over to the Chinese education names because Sean just reminded me about TAL, which is in the midst of, this is not a huge volume break. I can't really see because I got to do this. Kind of a pain in the butt. You got those scrolling at the bottom of the profits, whatever. That's more important to be able to see the volume spike here, which you still can't see because it's actually not that big. It's trying to get back above VWAP. You're going to see a tiny, tiny volume spike. I think that for now means I want to be still fading this name. Now, I was short this earlier on in the session, had one good short. Oh, sorry, 2 good shorts and 1 really, really bad one when I got top wicked out. Was able to get back into it to make some back. Tried to hold for the home run. Eventually got break even, did not get back in on these lower highs. I think the next play is if we get up to 650 and it's still doing that lower volume, I'll be shorting in front of the lower high on TAL. Brendo?
A little one going here, or trying to go here late in the day, BTCM. Yeah, you guessed it, Bitcoin related. 15% just made a day high above 5 there. So this is Bit Mining Limited. They announced today they purchased 2,500 new Bitcoin mining machines, guys, for a staggering $6.6 million. 13% now for them.
Remember, we could talk a little bit about Bitcoin today. Why not? We like Bitcoin over here. So Bitcoin today, nice move for sure. This is a 5-minute chart. We make that move all the way up to 41,000 almost early on in the day. And then we make a nice little battle back here to 40,700 right now. But I mean, the moves, whatever. Bitcoin story is never going to be over. Never, because now it's starting to get accepted. We talked about that with Amazon. I love Cardano. We've talked about that over and over again as well. So if you're new to the show, hi, I'm Sean and I like Cardano. But you know, you can see right here, good movement, nice little bounce back. I mean, this is very, very volatile. Like if you even just look, this is July 28th. So this is today at 2 o'clock on Fed release. 38.8, and then look at this. No change from the Fed all the way to 40,000. So it's obviously being affected a little bit more than just, buy and sells and Chinese miners, things like that. It's obviously paying attention a little bit to Fed monetary policy. So the more the cash register goes printing, what I see is the cash goes brr. I hear that all the time when I'm listening to things. But they're just spitting out the money. Bitcoin obviously reacting very, very positively in the last 2 hours, up to 40,000, almost 41,000 again. So watch out for Bitcoins as they're still moving around here in later on the day. As Neo, as I see in the background here, is right at 42. So I just want to tell you, I did put a stop order in on this trade. 42, some decent size. It's probably going to crush it. We are at the day's high right now. I'm loving Facebook. I'm loving Google. But 42 is going to break. And then just to get you guys out of this trade, 41.75 to break to the downside. We'll be out of Neil. This is $1.75 in the money. AMC's, I'm still waiting. And I tweeted this out early when I took the AMC. I said, I'm out of it, scalped out, and I'm waiting for 40. So that's what I'm waiting for, and maybe a little bit too greedy because it goes as high as 39.60. Let's get out of some of this if we get to maybe 39.50, but maybe not. Maybe this rips into tomorrow as well, as right now we're at all-time high, not all-time highs. Maybe it's all-time highs for NASDAQ. NASDAQ right now breaking out. Yeah, maybe it is right now. 15 and change. Yeah, I think so. Besides maybe pre-market. And then Apple right now, $2.50 in the money. So we're rocking and rolling here today, cooking with gas.
Yeah, overnight, and yeah, I know overnight we're a little bit higher. But another one from this morning, guys, and we have a free watch this every single day. Never get away from these names because much like we just mentioned TAL, similar thing happening in INFI where it just bounced the upside. The volume is picking up a little bit more, but this is a level like I had a long on a bounce back early in the morning. We had a short off of this price. It was a pretty good one, and then we bounced off VWAP for a long trade. It really couldn't stop. It couldn't get through that 255 to put in a fresh high. Comes right back in through VWAP. Now we're breaking back out. I'm shorting off of this double top or almost triple top, exactly where we're getting out of our long trade. It's more to do with the volume, but it's now starting to get up there. So I don't want this thing breaking past like a 245 because I think it's going to make a run at the high of the day. I do like TAL, maybe a little bit better if I could have caught that, but I'm not in that one. I am out of Spirit. I know it's support, whatever. SPRT, I'm out of SPRT because I said I'd go break even on the last quarter, thinking it was about to flush into VWAP, and I'll pick some up in front of this support level here. You know what, forget about having a bid. I'm actually just gonna watch the level 2. I'm gonna see how far we drop into this support, which is 8 to 825, and if it really flushes in, see if we can't pick it up on the bounce. But didn't want to give it up. It was a great breakout trade off the read. And we talk about these 1:30, 2:30, 3 o'clock. You get the consolidation after it's already put in a flush out bottom, and it was a gap up style trade. Look for the volume to spike back up and break the range and get a quick little scalp trade. That's what we got at SPRT, but you got to know when to walk away from that as well, because look, it's sold off in the morning. It might, if it doesn't make a new high, it's obviously going to be a profit-taking situation for day traders who have to be flat in the next 25 minutes like we do.
So, yeah, exactly. Is it 20 minutes? Yeah, almost. Yeah, INFI right now. We will look at Toronto imbalances when they do come out at 340, and then the NYSE and the NASDAQ imbalances will come out at 350. So we'll look at that when they do come out, so get ready for that. INFI here today, I mean, another one, 60% up, so not bad. This is Infinity Pharma. So we'll see where this goes here. I don't know, just trying to find some levels. I mean, back down here is pretty good. 230 break to the downside, so I don't mind this short. We're not too far away. 230 break down into 215 again, so that's not a horrible spot. So if you are in that, watch out for it. BTBT starting to go again. So this was a name that we looked at the other day when Bitcoins were going nuts, up to 40,000 off that Amazon stuff that we were talking about. But now BTBT again, another high. Where was the high the other day? I think it was the same. Yeah, exactly. Like, look at this. So this is another thing here that if you're trading with us, you know, we like to go back to some higher time frames and try to find some support and resistance. Like, for some reason, that's back-to-back days here that this thing is completely stopped at 950 and turned around. So this is just looking like some uneventful days. Like, I mean, good days. Up, back down, close here, up again. Now we're back here again. So we'll see where we can close with BTBT, but good movement on this name. I don't really know why. Like, we saw that move up in Bitcoin at 2 o'clock, so I don't really know why this was going to the downside. It didn't start to go until here, 230, 240, so I'm not sure what this is following, But this break is nice. If we can get a break above 840 right here, I'm going to take it. So I'm going to put that order in right now. A break above 840 on BTBT to cover over here. I'm going to go long 840 and see if we can't close somewhere in the 9 range. So 840 long BTBT is what I'm looking at right now, guys.
The question is it nice or is it noise? Noise. Little key and peel action for you there. You guys just saw me say, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that bid on SPRT in front of 840 and then allow it to come to the downside, catch it in between that support at 8 and 825. That's called getting cute. It just bounced off of like 841 and it's back at 870. So, sometimes when you just want to buy in the dip, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, sometimes you just put a bid out there so you actually do buy in the dip instead of trying to get the absolute perfect price. So, do I have it here? I keep forgetting that my thing is messed up and I can't flip from different pages. I was going to do this thing, douche, douche, douche. But that was a 30-cent winner that I don't have because I decided to get cute with that trade. I'll find the face slap in a quick second. My Stream Deck absolutely hates me today. It hates me.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'll slap my own face for you.
I can't flip.
Okay, so that's that trade. We're going to be watching on that. And congratulations, I just saw Dave G, talking about making that 5 figures on AMD. So congratulations. My price also similar to yours, 66 or 65 on AMD. So I could cash out, but again, it's in the retirement fund. So I did cash out at 15% today on this move in the 97 range. I was not expecting an 8% move on earnings, but we could check it out on NVIDIA. And again, if you're following us, I talked about NVIDIA at 600 not too long ago, right? It's 195 now, but you got to divide that times that by 8. So you're almost, or not 8, 5 to 1. 8?
It was 4.
4 to 1. 8 to 1. I was going to say 8 times 200. Okay, NVIDIA went on a nice run. But yeah, so 4 to 1. So you're near that $800 mark right now again for NVIDIA. So just watch out for this one. This is only up 1.79%. Like AMD was so huge, I'm wondering what NVIDIA is going to come out with. So 196.50. I mean, if you want to get any options on NVIDIA, I don't think it's a horrible situation for you because, hey, again, into earnings, once NVIDIA is, and we'll find out the date. I don't think it's tomorrow, but it's going to be coming up. They're going to be a monster position for NVIDIA. So we'll watch out for them, unless they already reported early. I can't remember. But they just did have that reverse split to the downside. So watch out for that. I think the next big split is actually going to be possibly Google. Google's really doing nothing today. It got going early, 2770 there, and now it's just kind of barcoding and not doing a whole hell of a lot. This is pretty typical of these names on earnings day. What's up, Brendan?
A couple weeks till NVIDIA, August 18th. NVIDIA will report. This one tonight, though, just saw this one break through 300 again. PayPal, guys, coming aftermarket tonight. Back to positive for PYPO.
Yes, sir. Why not? And I said, well, I mean, I was picking between INFI and TAL. Got them both now. It just spiked up to like 650. I mean, I only saw it when it consolidated back in, so I don't know whether it was a dark pool print. Either way, it wasn't a monster volume spike. So it's like a 639 short, but I will use the 650 out for this particular trade. We'll go with the higher low here using 650, and I would add to this if I got a consolidation around 45. I never got SPRT, so that's going to be a bit of a missed opportunity. That BTBT looks pretty spicy there, Sean, but I do want to go back over to Cannabis land. Oh, you know what? I almost did it again, and it was going to break if I tried to switch. I can't hit the Cannabis song, which you guys all know and love. I can't do it because it'll mess up. But Sundial showing its weak head again. Anytime you get a spike up, this is usually like the #1 fade. I did miss the big trade. Was able to get a second one in there. It didn't get the higher low. It looks like it's really starting to roll over. Now I'm eyeballing 84 cents here. I don't know if we're going to get there because we only have 20 minutes left in the show. But I'll be all over this likely tomorrow. As long as I can play off the 88 level, I'd look for that lower level of 84 to maybe be this new little floor here. I don't know if we have the juice to get down through that level today. Volume tapering off on that as well. I'm kind of playing reversals here because not much is breaking out. That FLGC, which we opened with, that was that fake halt. That's come right back in. So some of the momentum is gone out of FLGC here. Another cannabis name that is pulling back. The fail break at 10 should have been the entry point to the short trade. I tried the short here. This was a fake halt to the upside where you got to get out right away because if it doesn't halt up and that thing breaks down within that 15 seconds, it is about to be disaster if you hold on to it. Trust me, I know, because it happened to me this week. Brendo?
Earnings name from earlier in the week, 3D Systems back to the upside today. They announced this deal to sell part of their business, their medical simulation business, to another company for about $300 million, it looks like. So nice day for DDD in New York, guys.
Back to 27. Yeah, good name for that one. And talk about the marijuana space today. It's going to be your trade of the day, and it's going to be Tilray. We talked about that earlier. We got involved with this one at 8:54, and again, look what started to happen here. Maybe I can just zoom this up a little bit here for you if I can. The volume started to pick up right when we got in, right? So as soon as we broke through that 14 level, and this is what I'm going to talk about on the trade of the day, why we didn't execute until volume came in, but you could probably figure out for about 25 cents there, and then a couple 25, 40 cent wins, and then a 77 cent win. And then again, remember, we're long at 14. Look what happens here. It rips all the way up. I guess we can minimize this volume now since you get the point. It ripped all the way up, and then we got out right there as we thought maybe it was breaking back to the downside. And I always talk about, watching out your profits on these cannabis plays into earnings and try to take them whenever you can. And today's a big day, man. 27%. Congratulations, those of you that were talking about Tilray yesterday, because it's just been a big mover and it just continues to go. I like the cannabis space. You guys know I'm in GRWG, Grow Generation Brands. I'm also in Canopy, and I'm in Tilray. So I'm super happy with the movement today, and especially the fact that it's held up. So I think this is going to be good, man. Canadian cannabis sales up 68%. They turned a profit, expecting 84 million. Lost. They turned 33 million profit. So we'll find out what Tilray's all about. But 26% is nice on their valuation, that's for sure. But if you look at a chart of Tilray here, maybe I can zoom back a little bit here to give you a little bit of an idea. All we're sort of doing is we're just right back to where we were on July 14th. So that's 2 weeks ago. We've already at these levels. Let's hit it. And we need to get above this 20 mark, right? So if we can get above this high water mark here of 20, then we can start to talk about higher and higher and higher. But I still think we need to see $20 on this. So as far as a swing play, if you like the space, there's more cannabis earnings on board. So Tilray may be the one. 112 million shares today. That bodes well, guys, for the stock. So, and it's held up. That's the other thing. So held up on high volume. You got to like Tilray moving forward here. I can't believe it's held up this high.
That's one of the best signs you can always look for, man. Like closing above you up, closing near highs is always a good sign, especially on that increased volume that you see. TAL starting to roll over a little bit. It's not too far in the money, but look, we got 17 minutes left to go. I did think we'd maybe get back below VWAP if we put in some lower highs here. So trying to hold out hope. Both that and INFI are slightly in the money, but nothing to write home about. I mean, Spirit was the real one. That was, certainly in the afternoon show going to be my best trade for the long. But like I said, you get a little bit too cute buying the dip, and you're going to miss out on that secondary push. To me, it was the right call to cover flat because we're likely to break this and get a lower price. But you've got to actually get a lower price. If you're trying to get out of position as an active trader, if you're getting out of position because you're like, it's going to go further down, so therefore I should buy it at a better price and not throw away an extra 20 cents. Well, then it behooves you to get back into the position if you still have a long bias, right? You get cute about it, you don't get it, and that's not really an acceptable thing to have happen to you there. Because now if it takes out this top, like with 15 minutes to go, I'm probably not chasing a 925 break into that 950 level. So the only buying opportunity that made sense risk to reward was down around 840 to 850. And of course, we don't have it here now, guys. So every now and then, getting a little bit more aggressive is the way to go about these things. And BlackBerry, I'm not going to get aggressive with this because it already rolled over. I did have an offer at 88. It's starting to come to the downside. I'm not going to chase it. It has about like 5 or 10 minutes to maybe pop up and give me a fill short in front of 11. But I think maybe we can write off that 11 break till potentially tomorrow, or just maybe the aftermarket as well. Though I won't have the break in the aftermarket, but it could happen after 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and the only thing that I'm looking at right now, AMC, I may just get out of this as it just went right through 39. I mean, we're $1.80 in the money right now, so. Okay, not a problem, but I don't know if we're going to get to that 40 bucks that I sort of had as a target there. And I think you got to have reasonable targets, and I thought that was a reasonable one. We're only up 2.49%. I do like that $40 mark on AMC, so if we can get to that, that's great. But again, we've tipped out a couple times here. What time is it? 3:44. Yeah, I mean, this 39.30, if we can get that, we should take it, man. That'd be $2 exactly. So, even a little bit more. So that's reasonable for me to take. I'm looking at AMC right there right now because, again, we can't hold. So if you're joining us for the first time, Neil and I prop trading on a floor here at Day Trade the World. We're flat at 4 o'clock every day. That's the policy, company policy. So I I don't want to say I've tried to fight it before because that is what it is. But sometimes we'll be in position a little bit later than that. But it's 4 o'clock. You got to get flat unless something's up. So we're going to wait for that 39.20 or so here. I'm going to put an offer. Hopefully we get hit there. And I do want to let Apple ride a little bit. I mean, we're right at this level. So Apple right now is $2.50 in the money. I dumped Facebook prematurely. I think Facebook's going to be a monster report tomorrow. So get ready for that. And I'm just going to hold Apple, see where we go from here. But I do have to get out of that AMC. So that's where my target is for them. I'm going to put it right now. 38. I mean, we may just miss this target. So I'm going to put an offer right here, 38.75. If that cracks, then we're going to get out of that, or 39.20. So that's the area of support and resistance for me on AMC.
And we'll do this one because I don't always hit the whiz. Why not? We call that the whiz, by the way. If you're just tuning in for the first time, Sean coined that one. It prints some money. You got the whatever. You can kind of see what's going on there. I got some out of that Infinity off of VWAP. So, like I said, have started taking profit. 15 minutes to go. As we said, first of all, Sean, I think we have a fantastic relationship with compliance, which is you have to, of course. That's the way you are when it's trading. But there's rules to be followed here. That's why we're going to be flat at the end of the day. By the end of the session here at 4 o'clock. BlackBerry not going to give you those moves. But those of you that are watching SPRT. Yeah, same price. Well, I mean, not quite the same price. It just stalled out at 9.20. It did get up to 25.30 when I got out of, well, I guess not the last of the shares, but the last of the profitable shares anyways. So it looks like it's putting in a lower high. It's running out of time to really say it's just buy the dip at 840, 850. If you're trading aftermarket, why not? This is one of my better stocks today, but it wasn't necessarily because of that long. It was the initial short that was very good on SPRT for that rollover trade, and that was essentially off the same breakout price, right? Like it rolled over at right in front of 930, right about that same 875 price. So I love prices like that for reversals. Like if that's where liquidity started to dry up and it really started to fall at that particular price, and then you make a high, and then you get a breakout at 130, 230, 3 o'clock, something like that. I absolutely love those. And the one that was a miss, I think, well, I mean, it was 100% a miss, FLGC. It is still barcoding off this same level, that lower high that I shorted it before. I mean, if there was, I might give it a shot here, shorting through 850 if it starts to flush, just for a quick scalp trade. It is getting late in the session for that kind of momentum play. If it pops in and cannot get past 915, kind of looking at that little shoulder, I guess you'd call it here. I mean, I hate using that term. If it pops into 915 and starts to fade again, it could be a scalp trade down into that 850 level as well. So FLGC, I thought this would be a little bit more active after that flush from 10, going only sideways here. I don't think that'll last too long though.
No, I do not think so either, as we're getting ready to get the imbalances coming out at 350, guys. So very, very close to seeing what's happening right there. I mean, we do like that EDU, but again, heading into earnings, heading into the close, not too sure what we're going to like here with some of these names. Just quickly before I go to Brendan, update, we did get out of our NEO trade as it does break below that 75 mark. So just to let you know, it's bounced off $42. So for me, for now, we are out of NEO. It's a big, big win. So we'll throw some cash around here on NIO for us today. Long one time right off the open, out quickly, and then out again right up here. So that's a long at 40 and a quarter and an out at 41.70. That's $1.50 on the board. We'll take that all day, every day. Brendan, let's go, bud.
Just working through the earnings list from this morning, guys. Nice look for Pfizer here from pre-market. If you remember, this thing popped up after a decent report. We're all the way back to day highs here. It's been chopping around in about a 50-cent range, 3.7 to the upside today. There was new data out, 6-month data suggesting their vaccine drops in efficacy from 96 down to about 86 after 6 months today. So there is that note on Pfizer, but overall, pretty good day for them.
There was actually like a little bit more anecdotal data that was worse than that came out of, and they had a deal, of course, with, I think with Israel, that was a little bit worse than that. So actually kind of an improvement for them. I'm saying that kind of fast here because FLGC does the rollover. It popped up a little bit, couldn't get to 915. I got short at 878 here in front of 9. It falls down 838. We're going to get a 40-cent winner there. We'll get the rest out in front of VWAP, which is 8 even, guys. So coming to the downside, FLGC. Just said about a minute or so ago, there's no way it holds that range. It's going to get going. I like the rollover trade. I would have taken the breakdown, but instead it gave me a little bit of a pop so we could catch the short, make some of it back on FLGC. I'll still be down because that's never going to be a pretty look shorting this. But this is a lot worse at the top. When it had that I guess, failed halt to the upside where it didn't go into the halt, you're going to lose almost every single time. I actually didn't even have my default set correctly, so I had to use 2 orders to get out of this one just to make sure I got the fill. Thank goodness I did. Otherwise, the other half would have been out for like a 50-cent loser. Brendan, earnings.
Yes, indeed. It was very exciting today, obviously, with huge names. Aftermarket yesterday, in the pre-market this morning. We just talked about a few. Here's what's coming up tonight, guys. This is the wrong one. There we go. That one is tonight, aftermarket, and before the open tomorrow.
Well, the thing about today's earnings board is there's really no names to trade. I mean,
None.
I don't even know what to look at here. I wish there was more options, but no, we're just playing around. Look at the middle one there. Ford, Qualcomm, PayPal, MasterCard. I've been wanting to get into American Express for a while. Not in it yet. Maybe that's a good opportunity if MasterCard does miss there, but you know, lots of names on board there. I don't know. Anything interests you, Neil, but other than the big ones there?
I was going to say, wasn't Visa today? I kind of feel like they were. Look, I'm interested in Qualcomm. Obviously, PayPal is going to stand out there. I'm in GM, not Ford, but I kind of feel like we're going to be paying, it doesn't matter which one of the two you're in, you're going to be paying very, very close attention to the guidance from Ford if you're in any of the EV names for sure. Nothing, like, it's going to be about the center of the board. I understand like people invest in other names, but when you're talking about day trading, it's what moves. Cannabis space is going to remain in play tomorrow 100%. Look for the movers and the shakers in the Chinese education names, your NEOs, your DDs as well. So those have been big movers. You got to stick to what is going. Overall, the big cap tech is still going to be in play as well, guys. So I know it's an overwhelming board. But we have a way to navigate that. We do it every single morning. We come to you from 8:30 in the morning just so that we can navigate through that for you, and it's a lot of fun to do. FLGC, look, we had 9 minutes to go. I'm in 3 positions. Probably gonna have to take Infini out almost flat because it doesn't seem to want to go anywhere here. FLGC, which I'm in right now, I'll give it a couple more minutes here to try to pop down a VWAP here just because it's in the money. I don't have to worry too much about it. I can throw a break-even stop if I want to. Not too hard to manage this one. It's not going to turn into a losing trade. I mean, unless I faint or fall out of my chair, it shouldn't turn into a losing trade. That's not going to happen. And then we do still have that TAL, which is basically the same thing as INFI. Like it just, it goes slightly in the money here. It's not rolling over. Going to have to cover this trade for a very small win or break even. Got to be flat in the next 8 minutes.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So we're looking for some sympathy plays there in the cannabis space. The aforementioned Ryan Specialty Group Holdings. Okay, never thought I'd say that. This is a stock here on the imbalance locator, a big sell, 2.2 million shares to sell. So I don't know, down for 29. Looks like it bumped up on that data. So no interest here for me. Intel on the buy side as well. I was just making fun of that Ryan. I mean, you can look it up. Maybe there is an index change or something with them. I don't know. But Intel doesn't seem to care about that bid. Tell me Intel's up today at least. It is not. Wow. Okay. So. That's not even, Intel's not even catching a bid, guys, into an AMD.
Yeah, but the reason why is because yesterday they were up on their investor meeting anyways, which was kind of fluff, right? So it had already put that gain in. That's why it wouldn't go up today.
Okay, our charts show it down yesterday, but it doesn't matter. You're pushing lows right now on Intel. So, if it's not up that 9%, guys, or not 9%, it's not going to be up 9%, but on that news. Anyways, I'm just talking about it because it's on the locator. So that is Intel there. We talked about why you don't need to be in that stock. Let's look at Draftkings, guys. $50.50 right now. So that's a nice move up. This is near the spot where we peeled some off last time. So I'm definitely wondering right now about Draftkings and what they're doing right now. So that's a nice little move to the upside. We talked about why, again, some catalysts coming with the NFL. The biggest MLB playoffs also very heavily bet as well. And then Olympics, I guess people betting, but I don't think too heavily. Brendan, I wanted to ask you this one because I wasn't sure. I'm trying to get my money into Moderna. Yesterday was a big drop down day for them, down to 318 at the bottoms, closing at 327. And then today, and again, maybe it's on the Pfizer news, maybe there's news that I'm missing, but 6% up for Moderna and basically just straight to the upside. All-time highs right now for Moderna. This name just keeps on going and going and going. We talked about getting puts on this after the addition for Moderna, but yeah, you know what? I don't know. It just keeps on going to the upside here, and it's saying no addition, no problem there. It did have the down day when it got added to the S&P, and then now all of a sudden back-to-back jacks here, including not yesterday, but these two big days, bring us both to all-time highs. So Moderna, we talked about why we like this one in this range, unable to pull the trigger, and now I'm just like, wow, now we got to get in at some point, hoping that Moderna can come back to 300 at some point, but it doesn't look like it wants to. And I just got out of something. Oh, it was AMC, which way? Boo, the other way. AMC, I wish we would have got out the other way, but it just broke through 38.75 for another $2. Is it $2? Sorry, 37.22 out 38.75. So that's a $1.50 win there on AMC, and we're still cruising with $2.20 on Apple. It doesn't look like that's going to do anything here into the close.
Yeah, I just got all out of that FLGC. Couldn't go any further, guys. So we'll get the last out at 820 there, guys. It's just in front of 820 anyways. Look. We're going to write this one off. It actually is still holding up pretty strong. I know it was the last trade. It was a short trade, but it did have a huge cluster at 750 to 780. So another name in the cannabis space. This was actually, and probably should have pointed this out, guys, it just came to market recently in May here. So it is on a bit of a breakout. So if you... I mean, I don't know, like there's a lot of depressed IPOs that were sitting around bottoms, but that's a pretty clean break when you look at it. Sometimes you look for these and just like wait for the momentum to come into a highly depressed name, especially when you have some interest coming in here. Now, obviously, you're going to get some sympathy with Tilray pushing the upside, but this break is ongoing. Look to see if 6 can't be an interesting support, because when you have a recent name like this, you don't have a lot of levels to go off of, so sometimes the more obvious ones are the only thing you want to pay attention to. Slight imbalance on BAM-A, by the way. That's the only reason why I'm into the long trade on that one. So let's see what happens with Brookfield at the close.
Yeah, so here's BAM-A in Canada, 700,000 to buy, which is good because there's only 2.7 million there today. So a nice little move to the downside on BAM-A. But other than that, I forgot to check Toronto today. So no CVE, no SU. Those are the two big names, or two of the big names that were on here. There's Uber catching it, still $46, eh? Damn it, Uber can't go up. I want to get some money into this name, but it's not doing anything. It's just hovering near the bottom. This is the one name that I've never invested on here. This is a 1 minute chart. I want to get into Uber, but look what it's doing, man. It's hovering right at the bottoms. That may be a good spot to get into. I almost said that may be a good space because I did have, so that's Uber and then Virgin are two names I want to get into. So this one, again, it's still hovering around that $30. We did make some moves here in down to 27.28. This is the level. So remember when it was up here, 56, 57, I said this will probably come back down here and I wanted to get long, and I didn't do that. So maybe a missed opportunity, but again, I'd rather almost get long if we broke above 35. So space right now, Virgin Galactic, of course, starting to rock and roll. But our money's in all the big cap tech names, and for good reason as they just continue, man, to march. AMD, wow, almost near all-time highs again. We talked about that. The all-time high is 99.70 something. So as aftermarket print. But tomorrow, watch out for this thing to open up above $100, guys. That's right. Tomorrow we'll look for AMD to open up above that $100 mark. They just need a couple upgrades. If that happens, then watch out below or watch out above, as AMD is going to just keep on ripping, guys. I love this name. Let's see what it does over that $100 mark. If it doesn't get there in the next couple days, then we should probably sell and then get longer once we break above.
And just going to go back to some of the high flyers, just so you can see how we're closing out here. FLGC does not make a bit of a pop there. We were tracking BlackBerry. We never actually got into position. I think we'll be all over. Look, 11's going to obviously be a level. I mean, if you don't think 11's going to be a level on BlackBerry tomorrow, especially if it retests it, then I don't know what to say. You made a top there. On the daily chart, it's going to stand out a little bit for a potential break. It was kind of a fail to get through that high before, so we'll be all over 11 if we get a shot at that one. And you can play it in both directions, and I always come in with an open mind with any of the squeeze or meme names, but just keep in mind, BlackBerry does have that short interest, and that does come into play. And when you're talking momentum, tight stops on all your short trades on an idea like this on BlackBerry. I do have that Brookfield. We'll take it off at the close just to see what does happen with it. And one that we probably, I don't know if we talked about, well, you did mention Boeing and the airlines here today. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because this one actually alerted, about to break this 230, 231. So right on support is Boeing here after profit. They finally got back profitability, which is a good sign. I would love to see us close above a support level like this. Breaking that like right after good numbers would be a kind of a bad sign for a stock that is needed some positive news to finally get going here. I haven't done anything with this thing since selling some at 250. I'd only be a buyer back in if it really started to dip back down, but take nothing off till it gets back above that 250 range.
Okay, so there we. Oh, I almost got out there. I thought I'm offering 11s there. I thought we just got 11s there on Apple. It doesn't matter. Apple's going to end the day here with it. There it is, with a nice $2 win on Apple as it hits 11s, and we just crushed this name today to the upside. So we're really happy with Apple. A couple negative names on the board today, but not many. Actually, now that I look, we don't have any negative. Yeah, we have Microsoft and Facebook. That's it. Two names that I love and two names that I think I traded pretty good. We just didn't hold on enough. So two negative names on board. A lot of positive. Apple, AMC, AMD all positive. Neo positive as well. Tilray, a nice little win. And two negatives, the two that I love trading, Microsoft and Facebook. And I was long on both of them and, just gave them up too early.
Better work.
This was the bad one, man. We gave this one up way too early on Microsoft as it did wind up ripping. 10 seconds. Let's go. Who's over there? It's Miss V.
Miss V, she's in the green. The NASDAQ is safely up, but the ES is teetering. 3, 2, and 1. Ring it. Didn't get positive.
There we go. Thank you, Miss V. We sort of spoiled it already, Brendan, with these markets rocking and rolling, but I guess the ES may not be positive. What do you have?
Just snuck in there. Just ever so slightly snuck in there. So here we go. 0.02 to the upside for the ES, quarter for the Dow to the downside. NASDAQ, tech stock strong, 0.5%. Nicely positive for everything else on this list, including, Bitcoin, cryptos back to the upside, guys.
Once again, just going to gloss over the fact that Brazil leads the indexes on North America, up 1.44% there. Either way, it doesn't really make a difference. Stick around. Sean's got the trade of the day. Always watch that. It's going to be a fun one for sure. And a host of earnings to get to. But remember what was moving and what was shaking. Yeah, it's the cannabis space. And I kind of feel like I'll be watching Sundial tomorrow. Everyone should be watching Tilray as well. That's the trade of the day. Good one, Sean.
You know what? Maybe tomorrow we will. You know what, Graham? That's not a horrible idea. We'll talk to Brendan about that. Maybe tomorrow's trade of the day will be Brendan on a small cap name. That's not horrible. But we do have the small cap recap that happens.
Brendan needs more work.
Yeah, Brendan does need more work. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he does.
He doesn't.
No, but I've said this over and over again. That Brendan is by far the hardest worker on our team, besides Miss V, of course. So Miss V first, then Brendan. And then I want to give a big thank you to the group that works the hardest for sure, and that is our production team. So thank you so much to Maggie, Lucas, and Rob, always there. I mean, look at that stuff. I can't figure that stuff out. We just hit a keyboard, a couple buys and sell keys. These guys got to get all those cameras rocking, rolling. I think there's like 11 cameras. I don't know if you guys can confirm that. There's a certain amount of them, that's for sure. But we are very, very excited. There, oh, here we go. He's going through them all. Okay, let's not do that. We're going to give someone a seizure or something here. Okay, we're eagerly waiting for Facebook. It's going to be a good one. I can't promise you, but I'll promise you that's going to be good. We'll wait for Facebook. That's going to be a good one. Neil, Valeria, Brendan, we're all back here tomorrow, and it's Thursday, so that should be a good one. Thank you, Fed, for keeping the rates unchanged, and we will see you tomorrow. Ciao.
Thanks, Jerome.